Hey guys, it's Purav from PDTechHD, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my full review on the HTC One S smartphone sent to me by Vodafone UK. So let's get started. Alright, now before starting off the review, I'd like to say a big thank you to Vodafone UK for providing this handset to me for review, and you can pick up the HTC One S on Vodafone's network from just £36 a month on contract. So now let's take a look at the left hand side of the device. So you can see that there's a micro USB port for charging and for syncing, and along the right hand side you've just got a volume rocker and nothing else. Along the top you've got 3.5mm headphone jack, which is standard, microphone for cancelling out background audio during calls, a slot which when lifted reveals the micro SIM slot, and a sleep wake button, and along the bottom you've just got a microphone for outgoing calls. So let's take a look at the front. Now you can see at the top, let's see if camera shows it, yep. So you can see that there's a notification LED disguised within the speaker grill. So this is kind of like a subtle touch by HTC. It did take me a while to get used to. I found it a bit weird initially, but it's quite a nice touch. The light and proximity sensor are also hidden there. You've also got that speaker grills obviously for the earpiece, like to hear when you're making and receiving calls. You've also got front facing camera, which is VGA resolution, which is quite a shame. Alright, so the thing you're immediately drawn to when you first hold the HTC One S is this gorgeous display. Now this is a 4.3 inch QHD, so that's 540 by 960 pixel resolution display, and it's Super AMOLED, so the colors are really sharp and the blacks are super black. And obviously at the bottom you've just got three ICS keys, back, home and multitasking. And since with HTC devices has changed the way multitasking looks, so for example this is not how multitasking looks on stock ICS. On Sense with ICS it looks a lot better because you just swipe up to cancel recent apps and so on, as you can see. Let's see, build quality. Okay, so the build quality on the One S is really excellent, it feels great in the hand. Apart from this back panel, which is quite squeaky. I don't know if you can make that out on camera, but it is quite squeaky. It's quite a shame because it takes away from the overall brilliant build quality that HTC has with the One S. The dimensions of this are 130.9mm down by 65mm across, and it's only 7.8mm thin. So this is a very thin, kind of compact device, and it only weighs 119.5 grams, guys. So this is a very pocketable device as well. In terms of the software, I've already touched on this, but this is Ice Cream Sandwich with the Sense 4 overlay, and it does work really well. In terms of a processor, you've got 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon with 1 GB of RAM, so this is quite a beast for gaming and for watching videos or anything. You're not going to notice any sort of lag. And on your screen now you should see a screenshot of the quadrant benchmark. Okay, so moving on to internal storage, you've got 16 GB on this One S, and you can't extend that with a microsd slot because there simply is no microsd slot. However, what you do get is you do get 25 GB for Dropbox storage for 2 years. So that's quite nice of HTC to offer that. And in my usage, I found that was more than enough for simple pictures and videos. It might fill up after I don't know, a couple of months or so. So you might want to look into other storage options like Microsoft SkyDrive, Google Drive or something else. But it's quite a shame because if you're offline quite a lot, like you're on the underground and you like to keep your music on an SD card, you can't really do that. You have to transfer it to the internal storage or use something like Google Music or something. So that's one of the few flaws with the One S actually. Alright, so let's talk about the camera. Now, I did mention that the VGA camera was quite a shame, and the reason for this is because, VGA just doesn't cut it in 2012 anymore. Even the Galaxy S2, which came out in 2011, I believe, yeah, I think 2011, was basically a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. So for HTC to put a VGA on a One S, which is its mid-range device, is kind of inexcusable. They could have at least put 1.3 megapixel or 1.9 or something, but VGA just doesn't cut it. But on brighter news with the camera, the back camera is just a brilliant, stellar performance to use. It's an 8 megapixel shooter, LED flash, autofocus, all that good stuff. It's got 2.0 f2.0 aperture, 28mm lens. It's identical to the camera on the One X, which can take some superb shots. It can also record 1080p footage at 30 frames per second, and you should see some sample pictures I took with the One S on your screen now. Another thing I do want to mention with the camera is the burst mode. So for example, let's give you a demo of that. Let's just unlock the camera. So for example, okay, so I'm in the camera mode, and all you do is you just hold this down, and you can hear the shutter button going. And then what it does is, for example, all these pictures, and then I can choose the best shot, or I can delete which one I want. And I mean, normally the best shot is it does work quite well. Obviously, I've just taken a picture of the air here, so nothing much to show, but best shot does work pretty well, especially if you hold the camera still. For example, if you're at a concert or something, then the best shot doesn't work that well because you're shaking about too much. But yeah, that's on the camera. And obviously, sorry, let me just mute the device. Okay, on the back of it, you've also got the HTC logo. You've got Beats Audio, which I'll come back to towards the end. And you've got speaker grill. And again, this is micro perforated. Like, HTC's put a lot of thought into the design of the One S. It's like quite clearly the best designed handset out of the whole One series compared to the X and the V. Alright, so I already mentioned that it's an AMOLED display, but the colors are really super bright, they're sharp, and the blacks are super black like I mentioned, so that really makes it fun for YouTube watching, because you know, like those black bars you get in YouTube videos, because the blacks are super black, it gives it like a true kind of cinema style experience when watching back video footage on the One S. Let's see, the browser is like, for example, this is a review on the website that I co-admin. Let's just let it load. Okay, so this has got quite a lot of text. So what you can do with the One S is you can just pinch to zoom, and it sort of reflows the text. Okay, let's get on the actual text. 1 second. Okay, so you can see how it reflows the text, and you can like proper go in, and there's no pixelation on the display at all. So that's quite nice, and you can just double tap to get out. So it's good that it has that reflow text reflow thing, because the Galaxy S2 I reviewed previously didn't have that. So it's quite good for browsing. The large display makes it really easy to type out emails and even quick Twitter updates. So let me give you a demo of that. So let's just launch Twitter. Okay, so here I am composing a tweet. So you can see that this is the virtual keyboard, and now like Sense has always been the sort of the most intuitive kind of keyboards. Like it really, autocorrection works very well, especially compared to the S2 I reviewed previously. So for example, let's just say hello. 1 second, let's use both hands. Hello, this is a tweet from the One S. Okay, so you can see, hello, this is a tweet from the One S, and I can just tweet it out, and it should tweet in a bit once it sends. And there we go, hello, this is a tweet from the One S. So basically, yeah, so the large display really makes it easy for typing out long emails as well as quick Twitter updates or Facebook updates. And the virtual keyboard works very well, autocorrection is really good, and spell check and all that good stuff. Let's see, okay, gaming. Now gaming, I was really impressed with this actually. There's a game, some of you may know it, it's called Riptide GP. Let's see if the camera's going to kind of focus there, but there it is, there's the icon. So let's tap on that. I'm just going to lower the volume a bit. Okay, now let me just give you some, let's just do a quick race. Okay, race 250cc. Now bear in mind this is on the highest settings, and this is quite a graphic intensive game. And you'll see how good the performance is. Okay, let's just choose that one. Alright, hopefully the camera does it justice, because in real life, like, it just looks so good. It's so super smooth, like there's not much lag. And you can see the sort of level of detail in this game, because you're not only have you got like the water to balance, but like in the background you can see certain shapes, certain themes. Like in some levels there's like lightning or clouds or satellites or something. So this game really does push your device, because there's quite a lot to deal with. Okay, I'm not doing the best here, because probably because I'm on camera, but basically, let's see. Okay, whoops, I sort of failed to, let me stop before I fail some more. But basically, yeah, for gaming, the One S is really good. I haven't found any problems with it. Like I told you before, the Sense UI is really great. It's quite nice because Sense in the past, was accused of being too bloatware, like too many animations and stuff. But with Sense 4, HTC's done a great job of keeping it to the bare minimum, while still maintaining some cool animations, like for example this one. And also the multitasking works really well compared to like stock ICS or anything. Having on that subject with the multitasking, it's too easy to hit that button, especially when you first get the device, because I was trying to hit the camera but accidentally kept hitting the multitasking. So it would have been better if they left some space between it. But I mean, after a while I did get used to that and was just kind of wary when pressing the buttons, but it's just something to know. So yeah, one other thing I wanted to quickly touch on was Beats audio. Alright, so for those of you that saw my unboxing will have noticed that I got a pair of Beats earphones. Now Vodafone do provide these. I think it's like the first 10,000 or something sold will have these Beats earphones, the iBeats I believe. So basically what you do is you just plug these in like so, and for example you can see that Beats audio is now on. Let's see if it focuses. 1 second. Beats audio is on. So basically if you play something on Google Music, play music. Okay, what should we play? I don't know. Okay, Wolfgang Gartner, for example. Il America. Okay, and basically what you notice is that Beats audio is on. You can also turn it off. And like in my experience, I can't really show this on camera because obviously you won't be able to hear the difference, but basically it's mainly useful for like bassy songs or dubstep kind of thing, because if you're listening to classical or rock you don't really notice much of a difference, and it's kind of a shame because HTC sort of praised it as like a breakthrough feature, but in my estimation, at least from the music I listen to, I found it more of just like a custom preset. So I mean, you could essentially configure a preset yourself and it would be the same as Beats audio. But it might be different on the Beats headphones, I'm not sure. Obviously, if you're listening to it on like normal earphones, it won't sound as well as on Beats earphones or headphones. But yeah, that's just something I noticed. One other good thing about Google Music on the Sense UI is basically, let's get back to playing that song. Okay, so if you remember my S2 review, you might have noticed that when I mentioned the lock screen, okay, there you go, you can hear the sound. Let me just lower that a bit. You might have remembered that on the lock screen there was no widget for controlling playback. Well, on the One S you can see that there is, so you can pause, you can next track, previous track, and so on. So that's quite nice that HTC offers that. And while I'm on the subject of Beats Audio stroke Google Music, Beats Audio does work with any sort of music app. It's not just Google Music that works with. It can work with the stock music app. It can work with Spotify, you know, whatever sort of music app you're playing, it will work. So that's quite a good feature. Just the last point I want to make is on the battery life. It's 1650 milliamp hour, so that gave me like 6 to 7 hours on medium use. So I mean that's decent, I guess, for a smartphone. Can't really expect much more. So yeah, guys. In summary, after this kind of long sort of review, the pros. Okay, so the pros are it's a powerful device, sorry, large display, the great camera, like you've seen some of the shots I've taken, and I was really impressed with the camera. The Dropbox 25 gig is a really nice addition by HTC, especially considering there's no Microsd slot, and that moves on to the cons. Cons are no Microsd slot, VGA front-facing camera just doesn't cut it in 2012, the squeaky back panel, and it might be hard for some people who like to hot swap the SIMs out, because I mean, if the back panel is really a pain to get to, you're not going to waste time like swapping out the SIMs. You just won't use the device kind of thing. So if you're someone, for example, that likes to keep 2 SIMs on the go, hot swaps them out, then unless you're prepared to put up with this kind of annoyance of the back panel, you shouldn't buy this device really. But I would recommend this device overall because it might not be as powerful as the One X, but I mean, it's fine for everyday use and also heavy gaming, like for Riptide, as you saw. And the camera is just superb. Like, you really do not need to carry around a point and shoot or anything, because this camera is just superb. Like, obviously providing the lighting is good. In low light, I did experience, for example, I took it to the concert. Some of you will know I went to the Watch the Throne concert. When I took video footage of that, I was still happy because you can zoom in and out while filming, and I mean that's quite a good feature in itself. It might seem kind of, you know, standard for some people, but like phone cameras to do that, that's quite impressive. The autofocus wasn't all that because obviously the lighting in a concert kind of isn't all that, and obviously the burst mode wasn't really that good either, but it was still pretty impressive for a phone camera. So overall, guys, I really would recommend the One S. So let me know what your thoughts are of this review. Sorry if it was too long, and sorry for the delay. I've had this for like a month now. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the review. Please let me know what you thought of it down below. Give it a like button if you enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't, because I've got quite a lot more tech videos coming soon. And please be sure to watch the last video, which was an unboxing of this handset, as well as the Beats earphones. So yeah guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.